Sueño.
What's up, jogador?
Jogador brasileiro.
I don't know.
What's up, big boy?
I'll take that.
How you guys doing today?
Good, man.
Yeah?
Chilling.
How are you?
I'm good.
Yeah.
Mentally, I'm good.
Mentally, yeah.
Yeah. How's your mental health, Tanny?
No, mine's solid right now, you know? Through all the injuries and everything, solid.
What does mental health mean to you?
I mean, to me personally, it became, I guess, like a big topic after my last injury.
Mm-hmm.
I had to get like a knee surgery, and then I was out for my senior year. And playing in college, we all played in. Well, you didn't play in college. We played in college. Freshman year, sophomore, all that builds up to your final year.
Mm-hmm.
You're captain. That's the year you show out and then do whatever. And then I ended up having to miss that with all the guys I came in with. So that was a struggle from the summer all the way through the season and all that. So that was like the first time where my mental health became like the center of my life, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had to take steps to fix that, and
I think I resonate with that too. Obviously, I dealt with a lot of injuries through my career as well since college, and it's interesting how I read an article as well that says there is something as onset injury depression. So as soon as you get injured, you kind of feel you
Mm-hmm.
don't trust your body, and you don't trust yourself, or you're frustrated with things. And I think so. It's as much as it is difficult, like at the same time, it's something that a lot of people go through, and it's normal, and they've done research on it. So. But it's good to talk about it at least and be open about it.
Yeah, I think it's interesting, like, obviously when you go from playing college or lower levels to professional at the highest level, MLS, injuries always happen. I think growing up as like a 17-year-old in Spain, I'm like, oh, I'm never going to get injured,
Remember those tournaments you used to play like six games
in
one
Friday?
day?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like,
you're
what?
like, you're young,
tomorrow, too,
you think you're invincible, and you're
Yeah.
like, I got hurt, while I was over there, and I was crying my eyes out, and I was like, one of my best friends was like, you really think like you're never gonna get injured? And, and it just kind of like slapped me in my face, and like mentally I was like, yeah, that makes sense. Like I can't just think that this isn't part of the game. It's a part of the game. It's natural.
Yeah.
It's just how can I grow from it? It's kind of the perspective I try to use whenever I have an injury. But yeah, like you said, going back to what you were saying, I think it's good for athletes to kind of be vulnerable and open up in that space. When they are struggling mentally.
I think even what made it like tougher for me is like, so I had the major surgery, which was around like May, June, and then what kept me pushing and like kept me, I guess, sane or like distracted me from like how bad my mental health was at the time was like, okay, I'll make the playoffs. Like, let's get to the playoffs. If we make the playoffs, I'll be good to go. And made it back, played 2 games, and during the second game, the first surgery, something that happened in the first surgery, kind of went wrong. So I had to go back in and have another surgery, which was kind of like, okay, you finally got back up, and then rug was just pulled right back from under me. It was just one of those things that I'm very glad that I had, the resources at my school and like the people around me who kind of helped, who made it comfortable for me, have that conversation and just move on from there.
Yeah, I think it's a big thing is just having a support system around you.
Yeah.
It's good to always have those people that are close to you. Even if you're that strong friend, I think it's still important for other people to check on our strong friends. But even for myself, how do I check on the friends that I think they're always okay, 100%, and create that conversation where it's like, hey, like, are you actually good? Like, what are you actually struggling with? Because a lot of us just give surface answers. We're just like, oh yeah, I'm good. Life's busy. I always catch myself saying that, oh, I'm just grinding all the time. But like, can we have those deeper surface conversations where you're like, I'm struggling with this, whatever it is.
Yeah, I think obviously being vulnerable and showing that maybe you are struggling sometimes can be seen as like a sign of weakness, So I think, but it is the opposite, It gives you a chance to actually acknowledge what might be going on with you, and there's such a thing as toxic positivity, It's like constantly being like, I'm good, where eventually it catches up to you. So I think being okay with being like, it's not great right now, and I'm okay with it, and just having the support for people to be like, it's not, and you're gonna be all right, like you'll get through it. You have your ups and downs, but I think just not getting the too low lows and also not the too high highs, and like you find yourself in a much better mental space.
What are some tools you guys have used to help you with your own mental health, keeping you, in a good place?
Yeah, I think I've worked with a therapist and a psychologist before, and especially last year, as soon as I got injured preseason, first thing I said to our PT at the time was, I need to speak to a therapist about this, because I know right away that I'm going to be in a negative headspace and I'm going to be upset with myself. And I know that I'm more irritable, more frustrated, you know, all that stuff. So I think that was the first thing, is like I need to have, you know, someone to support me on a professional level. And I think other tools as well that I've utilized is trying to find something that you enjoy doing, you know, and one of the things I found that's been really helpful is connecting more to the earth. I think that's for me, you know, and being more out in nature, seeing more sunlight, and well, you know, we've been missing it a little bit. We've been missing it a little bit here in Minneapolis. But even then, like I said, I've even tried to like kind of embrace the cold, you know, it's still like connecting to the earth. Like this is what we're being given on a daily basis. And I think it kind of just like, I think you kind of said it earlier too, it's like understanding where you're at currently is like, and accepting those things kind of leads you to a place of like, okay, I'm not looking too much in the future, or I'm not looking too much in the past, and I'm trying to be like present and just be like, do things that fulfill me. Kind of figuring out your own why and figuring out what like kind of sets you apart, and something that you have control over every single day. And I think that's something that like you have to find your own tool for that you can go back to every single day.
For me, when I got injured, it took me probably like 4 or 5 months to actually see a therapist, and up until then, it was basically just the support system around me. You know, I was in New York for the summer and then going into the school year, so I just had like, you know, my 3 people around me who just were there for me every day, nursed me back from surgery, and those are the people that I relied on heavily. And then one thing that I also do, if I'm not at a point where I'm comfortable talking to somebody, is I'll get my phone and I'll just go to the notes app and I'll just start writing whatever it is I'm going through down. Just like I'm talking to somebody, and that's also helped me a lot.
Yeah. That's dope. I mean, for me, obviously, I think, like you said, journaling was incredible. You know, just waking up, and even getting more specific with journaling for me, it's kind of like, how do I bring myself back to ground zero, you know, kind of like ground to earth. You know, I start out writing what I'm grateful for, no matter like what I'm going through in that situation or day. How do I wake up in the morning? As soon as I wake up, oh, okay, I'm grateful for, you know, the opportunity to train today, to connect with the guys, to, you know, be alive. You know, and kind of just bring me back down and change my perspective again. I think another thing too is kind of like what you're saying was, for me, I like to just like find other hobbies that I enjoy, you know, whether that's dancing through TikTok or something. I mean,
Big
for
dancer
me,
guy.
you know, I like coffee, so, you know, like just going to a coffee shop myself and just having a nice coffee and, you know, just sitting there, just enjoying the environment. And, you know, maybe it's I bring my journal to the coffee shop as well. But I think another thing was, luckily I've been able to have people that were kind of mentors to me, you know, who also have faith as well. So, you know, me growing spiritually has been a big help as well. I think also family time is another big thing that helps me.
I was about to say,
You
I
know,
forgot that too.
Just start,
Family's been big for sure.
I think a big thing is just like, just do spontaneous calls, like just FaceTiming my good friends from home, or FaceTiming my mom, just like randomly, not even scheduling it, and just see who picks up, you know, and just have a conversation.
If I don't call my mom within 2 days, it's a problem. So every 2 days, I'm on the phone with her or my dad, and then having my sister as well. My sister would just text me out of the blue, how are you good? Everything good? And my brother would check on me as well. Family was also one of the really big things that, you know, got me through everything.
Yeah, I think one other thing too is, you know, specific for us here at MNUFC is just opening up to the guys on our team on a deeper level than just, you know, talking about soccer and the game and how we're doing, but, you know, connecting with them, I guess, in a humane way. You know, finding those guys that you can really open up to, you know, closely. For me, obviously, one of those is like you guys, you know, and Ja'Cory Hayes is probably one of the good guys that I know that I can really open up to him and confide in. So finding that person that's kind of your rock, you know, like you said, that won't judge you no matter what, is a good resource as well. Well, guys, thanks you guys for opening up about mental health. I know it's not easy, but, you know,
Trying to make it easier.
We're trying to make it easier by sitting here with each other. But yeah, it's all about how do we help the community, how do we help others. And just want to say thank you guys for opening up, and for anyone else that's out there, it's okay to be vulnerable and to open up about your mental health, so don't be afraid. You can even reach out to us if you're struggling. We'll respond. With that, have a great day, and let's keep raising mental health awareness.